but they ain't do better. We still talk through letters. I don't steppers. If I send addresses, they gon' come in stretches. You talk ready? Hope you pass shit up.
What it is, it's your boys, Deuce, Teddy, and LaQuelle reporting with the facts, opinions, and BS straight from the top of the key. What up, guys?
How y'all doing?
What's
Good.
up, man? Let's jump in.
Let's get right into it. So, first topic I want to get into is your opinion on the Warriors sitting Klay during the games in Japan. Either one of y'all want to go first?
Jump in.
I kind of feel like it's like, why are we being overly cautious? Like, if we want him to get back to it, let's get back to it. That's kind of where I am with it. Like, I appreciate them being overly cautious, but at the same time, I'm like, if we want him to return to the form that he was in prior to these injuries, we gotta start doing what we gotta start doing. So I was really looking forward to him playing, seeing where he is, because I'm reading over the summer that, you know, he's looking good. You know, his form's looking good. Like he's had that time to digest what happened. He actually played basketball, came back, won the championship, contributed to the championship, and him driving around on that yacht playing, you know, Captain Klay has helped him. So I was really looking forward to it. So I wish he was playing, and I understand, but I'm just kind of like, let's get back to the norm.
I get why they not. I actually don't want him to play. I feel like I watched Kawhi sit out a year when he was hurt, and then I watched Toronto babysit him for a year. And when they babysat him and let him time management and sit and play, then get to the playoffs completely healthy, he kind of, the healthiest team usually wins at the end of the year. Of course, the best team, but the healthiest team usually wins at the end of the year. And we've seen Klay come back from an injury and get re-injured. So even though he had a good year, I'd rather him sit. We're not really threatened right now, because with Pat Baldwin playing the way he gonna play, with Poole being Poole, with, you know, Kuminga and the young players, we don't actually need Klay to go out there and do nothing too much. So even in the season, if they you know, give him time management during the season and sit him games, I'd be okay with that. Because once we get to that time when it's time to go, having our full team, it's just, we're not gonna be beat in the playoffs. We're not gonna lose. So
that we. I mean, I agree with Quell. Like, y'all don't really need him in the preseason. Y'all got too many threats, too many options, and like Quell said, he got injured and then got re-injured, if I'm not mistaken, in the offseason coming into a season. So you don't want history to repeat itself. Slow him back in, play him back in. Y'all got so many options. He'll be all right. He'll do what he do. Y'all good. We're gonna hop into another topic with the trade, the Atlanta trade with Dejounte Murray. What y'all feel about that? How y'all think about that? Quell, what you think?
I understand the Spurs going into a full we rebuild mode, getting rid of everybody. DeJounte had was one of their players that they knew eventually they're gonna have to pay him, and they got him for Gallinari and some first round picks. Like, we got a Hornets pick from next year, picks that they kind of want to build a team to win. So if you getting off of Gallinari and you getting DeJounte, you kind of cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got another playmaker, all-star caliber player. I feel like they was good, and the Spurs wanted to come off and get into rebuild mode. So I understand why they got rid of it.
About you, Deuce?
I mean, you see a lot of talk. I think somebody was saying they don't think that DeJounte Murray is going to work on the Hawks next to Trae Young. And I've been saying for years, Trae Young needs a ball handler next to him, a playmaker next to him, so that way he could play off the ball. And I feel like he's going to be one hell of a threat off the ball. So I was really campaigning for somebody like Ben Simmons to go to the Atlanta Hawks. But DeJounte Murray, you know, he's not 6'10", but he loved to play defense. The guy has heart, and he's a hell of a playmaker. He's, you know, they was calling him Mr. Triple Double, and he humbly was like, hey, that's Russell Westbrook. But I appreciate, you know, the comparison. So I think Atlanta, I think he's going to help them when it comes time, you know, if everybody stays healthy. But that East, like we was talking about the other night, the East is packed. So I'm interested to see, but I think it was a good pickup for Atlanta. And then the Spurs, you know, they waived Gallinari, and then Gallinari signed with the Celtics. So and I'm actually looking what the Spurs played today. And 134-96. Ain't much to talk about. They played the Rockets. So rebuild mode. I mean, pop, you right there at ground zero. So let's see what happens with that.
Yeah, it's interesting to see what Pop, you know, in his late years, he spent so much time having David Robinson, Sean Elliott, and that squad win. Then he got Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Ginobili. Then he had a resurgence getting Kawhi with that squad too. So he had a lot of them boys come through there during his time where he was named this type of coach. So it's kind of interesting to see what you're going to do when you don't have them boys under your roster, how you going to coach.
Yeah.
He's going to fly under the radar. I think he's just going to fly under the radar, get some picks in the future and rebuild. It's almost like not necessarily saying giving up, but just waiting for future talent, future picks. They're saying they got some nice players coming in the near future. So they setting themselves up to get that. So they're going to have to fly it under the radar for a year or two. But we'll see. But speaking of trades, there's another big trade with the Nuggets. Everybody been talking about. How y'all feel about that? Who you think was the top side of that, the Nuggets and the Wizards?
I feel like that trade warrants a discussion, and I haven't really seen too much, being discussed about the Nuggets trade. Because when you look at it, it's like, do you really get to where you achieved without Monte Morris? And I'm going to say no. With no Jamal Murray, no, you don't, because Monte Morris emerged like, you know what I'm saying? You know, my boys, the Warriors, and Monte Morris, he took us down in one game with that game-winning shot because Steph tried to help out, lost sight of Monte Morris, and he hit that three. Then he did it again later in the season. And I'm like, how many times is this going to happen? Then you've seen him in the playoffs. So I'm just kind of like, I mean, I understand because Jamal Murray coming back and Monte Morris puts himself on the bench. You know, it's always a business. So when I'm looking at it, I'm like, I think they actually took care of Monte Morris by moving him, by allowing him to go to another franchise, be a potential, like, have a better chance at starting and earning the money that he deserves. Because I think he definitely cemented himself as somebody that you have to respect on that court. So I think that was a business side, like that was good business for Monte Morris.
Yeah, I feel like both teams won, in all honesty. I really feel like both teams won. I feel like all three players involved won. Then from Will Barton and Monte Morris going to a team where Will Barton been with the Nuggets forever, before they got Jokic, before that, you know what I'm saying? He been a part of the Nuggets, and he kind of just been one of the guys that's been there. Even though he a good, decent player, he been one of the guys that's been there. And when you getting Michael Porter back, you getting Jamal Murray back, it's going to be hard to either make Monte Morris battle for that position or just put him on the bench.
Because you got to think, he ain't going to battle with Jamal Murray. They're going to give it to Jamal Murray.
That's
Jamal
what I'm saying.
Hungry. But then you got to remember Bones Highland.
Mm-hmm.
They got him coming off the bench, and they're looking at him like, we have longevity with you.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And they looking at his size and his feistiness and what he brings. So I think, like I say, I think it was a business. I think it was.
Yeah, because Monte, you gonna either have to sit him and try to justify why you sitting a player that everybody in the world watch ball.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to. It's basically this young boy, the next one up, the one we already gave the money to coming back. Sorry, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You want to go make some money, you're gonna have to go do it somewhere else. And then getting Contavious Caldwell Pope as that come off the as they two, basically. he gonna guard the best perimeter player and take pressure off of Jamal Murray. So they won in that trade too, because now you got a defender that's a 3-and-D guy coming off, and Monte been over there balling. But like, if you watch just him in the game, just his presence playing with them, even though they playing against the Warriors and losing, he's over there, and he has that thing about him. You know what I'm saying? Real hoopers know hoopers, and he's one of them boys.
Oh, yeah.
So I think both of them kind of won, because if Jamal Murray come back the way we think he supposed to come back, if eventually Porter come back and they come back and they team look a certain way, Jamal Murray, Contavious Caldwell Pope, Michael Porter Jr., Jokic, you got a squad over there. And then Monte Morris, Bradley Beal.
See, and that's
Rangers.
good for Monte Morris. But as far as 314, y'all know that's where we from. 314, Bradley Beal. Put my guy next to somebody. And I'm not saying Monte Morris is not that somebody. What I'm saying is it goes back to that small guard lineup. And that's gonna demand a lot. So when you talk about Porzingis, who left the Mavs last year by way of trade, can he stay healthy? Okay.
Yeah.
Then you looking at
Kyle Kuzma.
I mean, he pretty much on the court. But when you think about defense, you're not really thinking of that, and then Rui, you got to think, like, can he stay healthy as well? So if your bigs can't stay,
they don't have
healthy, and you got these little guys, like, I mean, so
of their starters, we haven't named one real defender. Porzingis, Kyle Kuzma, Monte Morris, Bradley Beal. That's 36 minutes they gonna play, and it's not really a defender on that court at all. At all. So, but you got some offense. Hey, you got some offense on that court. They're gonna put the ball in the hoop, but just ain't gonna stop nobody. Because Porzingis was having trouble with Wiseman, baby, and B's gonna put you in the blender.
They figuring it out. I think they're gonna be better this year than they were last year, though.
Oh yeah,
they starting to mesh. I wouldn't put them as a threat yet, but they definitely getting better. They just got to put more pieces.
Yeah, everybody having to learn how to play with Brad, because it's like he was injured last year and he was off the court, so everybody kind of got their time on the court together. Porzingis and Kyle Kuzma, Monte Morris coming in, but when he steps back on the court, it's like, simmer down. I'm the guy. Like, y'all got to learn how to play with me.
And he deserve.
Yeah.
That's a walking bucket right there.
I think all of them feel like they, like, when you think about the characters over there, Kyle Kuzma, Porzingis, Monte Morris, all of them feel like they're a bucket. So that's a good core to be around. Like,
but can they share the ball? That's the thing. Can they share the ball?
Porzingis don't like not getting his touches. We already know that very well.
We know that.
We know that very well.
Don't like the rebound.
And he don't like,
Can they share the ball? Because yeah, if they doing a lot of ISO play, then it may not look good. Only one we know guaranteed can do ISO play like that.
Say the other night they had, I mean, granted Bradley Beal didn't play. They had 23 assists the other night. Yeah. And they shot 35% from the floor, 24% from the three. So just think if they was actually hitting shots. If they were actually hitting shots. So I think they could share the ball in. Hachimura, I think he's gonna be the one to watch on that team behind Bradley Beal.
He stay healthy, they gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Still not average, like 5 or 6 assists last year.
Who?
Monte Morris.
Monte.
Yeah, like 5 or 6 assists.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. That's a steal, kind of, bro. That's the kind of a steal. You coming off Caldwell Pope. You getting Bradley Beal back from injury and Monte Morris. That's kind of.
I mean, you got to think though. You did a swap. Ish Smith
Oh
for
yeah,
Monte Morris.
Ish Smith, yeah, little guy for little guy, yeah.
So, and I no disrespect to Ish, but I'd rather have Monte Morris than Ish. So,
but
But I think that I think that that's like you said, business decision. Ish Smith is okay in that role coming. He's
yeah,
okay in that. He's used to that. That's what he do. So
yeah.
we're finna switch it up here. The next topic talking about your take on max and super max players going to front office demanding trades. How y'all feel about that?
it was.
Bad for business.
I think personally, I think it's like it takes away from everything that previous players worked for. When you think about how like Michael Jordan couldn't get, you know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jordan didn't have much of a say, like couldn't retain the coach, couldn't retain the players, like couldn't really get that really, you know, the big contract. Like he should have been paid so much more, had so much say when you talk about what he did for the Bulls organization, right? I feel like it's like a slap in the face to players that put in that work to get the NBA Players Association to where it is today. I mean, me personally, I love the fact that franchises and organizations are welcoming. You know, it's an open forum. They're welcoming the dialogue. You let me know how you feel. But if I'm in that role, I'm going to say thank you. And I get back to playing. Because we have a contract. You produce, I pay. We have a contract. So especially like if you just did an extension, a 5-year extension, and you a few months into this extension, and you just like you not gonna play if I don't trade you, I think that's bad business. And I think you got to stand on it. You have a contract, continue to produce, and I hope that it does not adversely affect anything when they go into the next collective bargaining agreement. But I wouldn't be surprised if that becomes a topic of discussion, as well as off-season activities. I wouldn't be surprised if that becomes a topic of discussion as well when they go into the next CBA.
I think that I get why players want to have that freedom. When you're dealing with different franchises and like watching rebuilds and like watching what John Wall just had to go through and watching certain things when you reach it, and how you watch the NBA and how predicated they are on youth and young players and how young you are and the younger players getting whole teams and rebuilds and all of that. So I see older players watching the NBA being predicated on youth, but watching all the NBA stars only valuing you for your rings. It's like, well, the NBA that I'm playing in only want young players. I'm 27, 28, 29. I don't have any rings. And now I'm on a team that's not really making trades to really be a contender. I got an owner that is kind of just collecting money. He don't really care to spend money to go get a ring. He collecting this concession stand and general admission ticket money. I'm trying to win. He don't really care about winning. Meanwhile, they telling me I'm not this because I don't have a ring. I'm not that because I'm not a winner. I'm not this because I don't have a ring. It's like, I want to hoop and show I can hoop too. Let me go try to go get a ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me go try to show y'all. I don't want to be sitting up there and every time Shaq talk, he look at Chuck and he you ain't got no rings, but like, no, I see how it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get how the player mentality might be. Let me go try to get a ring, or let me try to get out of this ugly situation. Or, you know what I'm saying? Y'all not really doing nothing anymore. Like when James Harden wanted out, and you seen that years before, they was trying to do everything to get him a ring. Bring in Chris Paul, bring in Westbrook, bring in everybody for you. And then that next year, it's like, well, we haven't brought nobody in for you to win. It's like, oh, y'all not really trying to win no more. I don't want to play for y'all no more. Y'all want to go into rebuild mode and bring young players into the Rockets in Houston? I'm 28 years old. I ain't got a ring, and all I hear about is my playoff woes. Fuck my MVP season. They only talk about how I can't get a ring, how I don't want to play, how I fail. So I get it. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be here. I don't want to play here. Even with the Kyrie situation, going to that situation and then being like, oh, he don't feel like playing. He want to play whenever he wants to. I'm gonna go somewhere where I can win. Like I'm trying to go somewhere to win. Because once I'm a winner, they not gonna all that extra go out the window.
And I respect that. I still say you got a contract at the end of the day. You gotta so my thing is you can go to the front office and say that you can feel that type of way, you can express it. However, you get paid to show up. So go ahead and show up and show out. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's coming too far to where it's just like it's normal now for them, players to force their way out of teams. And then you start seeing all of these players flock to a team like kind of 2 years ago when everybody started flocking to the Nets when they got Kyrie and KD. It's kind of like, come on now. Everybody forcing buyouts, and now you're getting the money, and then you're going to go to another team and get paid minimum.
They see it work, though.
Right, knowing that you're more capable of what you put out, because you see how many days they say Blake went without dunking, right? And then Blake went to the Nets and started like, come on now. Like,
yeah, but they seen it work with Anthony Davis. If you've seen a player force his way out, get over to a team, and like you said, everybody flocked to the Lakers that first year. Howard was there. They had everybody. JaVale, they had the 3 7-footers. They had shooters.
Was it by way of buyouts?
Well, it wasn't by way of buyouts, but that year before, when he tried to demand a trade and say he wanted out of the Pelicans and said that everybody knew he wanted to be out of the Pelicans and go play for LA.
Yeah.
Wasn't being himself no more. Wasn't playing like that himself no more. Wasn't doing none of that because he didn't want to play there no more. But when you see it work, how can you be mad? Like, I can't be mad at X player, Ben Simmons, feeling like, well, I'm gonna buy my way out. I'm gonna force my way out too. If he's seen Anthony Davis, he's seen Harden get away with it. He's seen this player get away with it. It's like Harden. Shit. Like, hey, Harden didn't force his way out of every shit in the Ben Simmons trade and 2 years before the Ben Simmons trade. Like shit, if he could do it, why can't I do it?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like they headed in a negative direction with this.
But you got players like Giannis still, players like Lillard still, players that
like Bradley Beal.
We gonna thug it out. Like we gonna thug it out.
Well, you put a nice dollar amount sign behind it, anybody to thug it out.
Nah, Harden was getting paid.
I ain't talking about Harden.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking about Bill because Bill wants to win.
Yeah.
He wants to win, but that money that they gave him made him stay where he at.
I would have loved to see Bill team up with the other St. Louis town.
That'd have been nice.
I would love to see Bill and Lillard get together. Even though they 6'4", 6'1", whatever, bro. Them niggas some buckets.
I'm more so talking about for the city, though. For the city. The city.
Yeah,
all I'm on the team. Put McCall on the bench.
Oh, yeah. Pat, Peasy.
Get him a 4th ring.
We slide into this next topic. Talk a little bit about the offseason trades, firing, suspensions, arrests, injuries, all of that stuff was detrimental to a franchise. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to just get it out of there. We shouldn't have got rid of Brunson. I ain't going to go too deep into it. That man was like Hermes to Zeus. Like you got rid of the guy that got us through the playoff. I mean, don't get me wrong. Luka is that guy. He always gonna be that guy. He is the guy.
But remember when y'all start the playoff, there was no Luka.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like for us to get, if it's not broken, don't fix it. I know we need extra pieces to get over the hump, but getting rid of Brunson is just crazy because he turned into a whole nother dog. I mean, he's been a dog all season.
Oh yeah, but you seen him bullying. You seen him bullying. So now when you look on 2K23, what badge do you have? You got a bully badge on there now, and that's where the Jalen Brunson.
That was crazy to me. Like I just don't see I ain't trying to see it really what it is.
And then what's extra crazy
hurt.
is y'all ain't really pick anything up. Y'all got a bid. Who'd y'all get? JaVale McGee?
Yeah. Yep. But we need. It's not. I mean, that's gonna help on the rebounding. The
I mean, you got
toughness.
Tim Hardaway coming back.
Yeah, but he not a bully like Brunson though. Like Brunson can turn up and give you them 30 points out of nowhere. Who else? Tim Hardaway is not gonna give you 30.
I mean, y'all got Spencer still, right?
He's not gonna give you 30.
I mean, I know. That. Look, I know y'all blew that one, but do you think it was tampering involved?
Hey.
Do you think tampering was involved? Because when they made them phone calls, they say them phone calls came in before the clock struck 12.
Right. So, but I mean, like, Luka's the only guaranteed bucket. Like, we're gonna get 28 out of that. Who else can give you that 28? Brunson's not a 29, 30 point a night guy, but if Luka isn't able, who is there to give us those points? Because I mean, we got decent shooters and stuff that can hit the three here and there. That's what kept us in the games last year. Was our 3-point shooting, but Brunson was that dog. Like, that's our guy that can get what we need. To me, that's just whew.
So you feel like that was one of the most detrimental offseason
personally
for a franchise? Okay.
Personally.
For his franchise, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a Luka sign put up back there. Y'all gonna see before this season is over. But man, for me personally, that's what it was. But I'm happy. I'm happy for Brunson. I'll have to get your money, do what you got to do.
Right.
As far as the Mavericks and stuff, like, man, that was working. In the backcourt, and then you got Dinwiddie stepping up and stuff. Like, it was working. That 3 guards play system that we had going was working. They beat the number 1 team. You know what I'm saying? And they guards is way better than ours on paper. I mean, ain't nobody better than Luka, but on paper, the Suns guards was way better. And for a little bit, we was competitive with the Warriors. It wasn't for long, but to give all that up,
Yeah.
Hey, don't be making no faces, man.
No, I thought, as you're saying this, it's like I don't know what they're building in Dallas.
I don't know what.
It's like when you look at it's like I don't know what they're trying to build in Dallas. You get rid of Porzingis, cool. You bring in young boy Jalen. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got more, whatever. Then you get rid of Jalen, and it's like
I don't get that.
Like, bro, what are y'all trying to do over there? You see, everybody got 2 or 3 of them. Everywhere we go, everywhere in the West got 2 or 3 of them dogs. Everywhere you go around the league, it's 2 or 3 of them boys on there. Chris Paul and Booker, Klay, Steph, and Wiggins. Jokic got Murray back, like Embiid and Harden, Kyrie and them. Like, everybody got 2 of them boys, and Luka just feel like he got it.
I mean, I guess because he's so ball dominant, but I don't.
Kyrie and I mean Kawhi and fucking Paul George and John Wall. Like, everywhere you go, you gonna need 2 of them. LeBron and AD, and like
that's at a minimum.
A minimum to get through. And Luka just said, waving everybody off. He waving everybody off. One for a flat.
So do you agree with him, LaQuell? You feel like that was like the most detrimental?
That is a very big blow to a team.
Yeah.
But I think as far as like contenders, yeah, that's a big blow to a contender, an actual contender. Like, one of the Miles Bridges is a big blow for a team that's like on the rise.
Yeah.
But I feel like they gonna need Miles Bridges in order for them to stay on that rise. So we'll see with that Miles Bridges thing, because I don't really know what the Hornets were going to be yet. I know they were a good team. I know they play fast. They make you run. So they're going to get out on some teams. They're going to score a lot of buckets if they got it going. But I don't know if it's like, oh, you can't win and you can't win at the Hornets house. You know how some teams it's going, oh, when you go to Boston, you got to beat Boston. You got to beat Miami. You got to beat the Nets. You got to beat the Bucks. I don't know if they are crossing to that yet, but that's a blow. Miles Bridges is a blow. And we don't, and it's one of those blows that he could just be out of the NBA.
But that was more we were more proven. So
That's what I'm
he-
saying.
he
Like
is
as far
saying-
as contenders, y'all got
Yeah.
that's a big blow as far as contenders. Yeah,
we conference, you know what I'm saying? We defended.
y'all are
I'm like,
actually
not
to the
conference
you know what I'm saying?
champions.
I ain't say
know.
conference champion.
I was trying to make sure
Hey.
you didn't.
We defended, you know, participants.
I want a nice
And
amount of
conference
money off of you
finals.
on that one.
So, you know, that's a bigger blow to give up what got us there. You know what I'm
So-
saying?
So
Yeah,
you going with the Mavs, losing out on Jalen Brunson. You going with the Hornets and all the bad boy drama they dealing with.
they over there thugging.
So I'm gonna say you got Chicago, and I felt like what killed Chicago because they was looking great, and I feel like DeMar DeRozan was playing the best basketball of his career because you have to consider his first year on that team, his first year playing power forward. Look at the numbers he was putting up, and then you seen it fizz out at the end of the season, kind of like DeMar DeRozan does, right? But not having Lonzo, and then Williams got injured. Kobe White couldn't stay healthy. Caruso was in and out. And now to start this season, and Lonzo just had to have another surgery. I think that's killing them. And I'm like, damn. Then you got Coach M.A. and what the Celtics dealing with. And from what I could see, let me tell you, the Celtics made a statement. Granted, it's preseason. They made 22 threes today. Jalen, Smart, JT, they was on a mission. And I think they opened up. They made a big opening statement. They hungry. They hungry. And this is without the coach. So I originally felt like that was very detrimental. And I'm interested to see how them young boys handle that. But my pick is Chet. Because I seen so much potential with the Thunder. So much potential with the Thunder. They're large, they're young, they're mobile, they're athletic. From the 1 to the 5, can shoot, can penetrate, can do everything, can defend. And then he goes out with a bum ankle injury, bro. I feel like that put a 1-year delay on them. I felt it because if you've seen them last year, they were a defensive team. They were going house and shut some shit down. Then you bring him and some other pieces, bro, and they were all complimentary. I feel like they were destined to blossom, to emerge, to burst through their ceiling. And then the injury happened. So I feel like that injury was very detrimental to that franchise.
The Thunder are the one team that I was telling somebody, they have all new NBA players. Like the way that the new NBA is, triple-double, young dude, everybody can get a triple-double, triple threats, everybody can shoot. Everyone on their lineup is damn near a triple-double. Everybody can shoot the ball, everybody long. It's not necessarily the most fly through the air athletic, but that's the new NBA. Chet, Polaski, or whatever his name is, Josh, SGA, Baisley, all of them long shooting, triple threat. They all rebound. They all pass the ball. They are a bunch of like the hybrid new NBA players all on one squad. So that's a big one. Can I say something about a team to watch though? Because you said Chet, Paolo Banchero, bro. The Magic are going to be okay, bro. I feel like the Orlando Magic are going to be nice.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean by nice? Because they in a stacked.
They in the stacked East, but you know how the Cavs kind of like surprisingly was good last year.
It wasn't a surprise. We knew what they had.
We knew what they had, but you got to put it together too.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you would think, in my head, I would think that from the year before, who will be putting it together would be the Hornets to step into that 7-8 solidified role. But the Cavs jumped right above them.
But the Cavs had better players.
But they had a rookie. He had a rookie in the starting lineup, and they lost Sexton. We didn't know Evan Mobley was going to be Evan Mobley.
He got drafted like that. That's why
he got drafted like that. But it's a lot of bigs coming from Wiseman. It's a lot of bigs that you don't know what the hell they gonna be, bro. Mobley is legit.
They had more players though. Sexton was drafted high. I'm just saying they got.
But Sexton was hurt.
I know he was hurt, but I'm saying we knew that the Cavs had those core pieces. Like you said, you got to put it together and stuff, but they got more. They got more than the Hornets. The Hornets got what? The second number one, the second pick, third pick with LaMelo. Like they got more. Yeah, but all of that stuff is potential. Like I ain't not to take away from the Celtics and stuff. You know, coaches are coaches, but the players got to get on the court and play. The fact that we lost Brunson, that proved through the last playoff run, that proved that we was good, and then they gave it away. That's more than what a potential Thunder could do. What a coachless Celtics can do, what the Hornets can do. We proved it. We weren't supposed to beat the Suns, and we beat them. We weren't supposed to beat the Warriors, and we didn't. But we got there. We got there, and we gave it hell. Like, nobody saw us being that. Because even y'all thought that the Jazz was going to beat us, especially without Luka. Everybody thought we was going to get smoked with them. So the fact that this man stepped up, him and Dinwiddie, because I felt like that was one of the best trades. I didn't see it coming, but when they gave rid of Porzingis and brought in Dinwiddie, and he stepped up, and Brunson stepped up, and then to just let that go instead of letting it mature another year, that's the biggest. I feel like
might be Luka's fault.
Man, you know what you're getting when you come to the Mavericks.
Look,
you know what you're getting.
I heard some stories about
you know what you're getting though.
Liking to play with Luka.
Yeah, but why? Because Porzingis, he didn't produce.
Number one is Porzingis. Okay,
he didn't produce.
So he left because of people like you, damn Luka fans who keep calling him the wrong damn name.
He ain't produced. At the end of the day, you gotta produce. If you come to the Mavericks, you know what's gonna happen. You know what you're getting.
Right.
Don't be
everybody
surprised.
gotta produce, but Luka can show up fresh from the donut shop. Luka
and still give you 30, 10, and 10.
Luka in the conference finals getting drunk the night before, allegedly.
And still giving you 30, 10, and 10.
And still getting up out the damn playoffs. Who gives a damn?
Okay, yeah, exactly.
Who gives a damn what your stats are?
He produces.
Better go give him 30, 10, and 10.
He produces still. He produces.
All right. I see we finna get up and jump off here in a second. Anything else y'all want to say?
Yeah, we got a couple of topics we ain't get to hit. We'll catch on the next go around.
Question. Real quick question. What do y'all think Suns? Where do you think the Suns number wise fall in the rankings this year coming up? What seed?
I say in the top 5. I say in the top 5. I mean, right now they're struggling to this one team, 59-71. But I say in the top 5.
Okay.
Definitely top 5. I mean, Warriors, Mavericks, Grizzlies, and then you can see them in the Timberwolves, top 5 right there. Maybe the Clippers, maybe the Nuggets. There's just too many to say. They still got that core coming back. Chris Paul finna give it one more round. I don't know what he got in the gas tank, but then we got.
Yeah, so that's all for this show. I hope you enjoyed the facts, opinions, and BS with your boy Teddy, Deuce, and LaQuelle. Please subscribe, support, follow. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And until next time, top of the key.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Keep one in the tug. Wife be mad, but bet she still gon' fuck. Don't speak much. Message paper, my children to discuss. Coolie clutch. Life been crisscross since I missed the bus. These cops still don't get no fuck. Raise my little